Unfortunately, this next one is not fiction.
Okay.
And it blends right in with the story that we just told. It just goes to show you how devious some women can be, especially when they want to avoid confrontation. Because you know how they are. They tend to be very narcissistic, underhanded, and entitled, but they don't want to confront you to your face unless they can't help it.
Correct.
A girl slipped a laxative into my drink on a first date after she realized she wasn't interested in me and just wanted to go home. I learned later from one of her friends that she really doesn't like confrontation, and her way of getting out of a first date is to make the guy rush out of there. Which is exactly what happened. I sprint to the restroom, she tells the bartender that I'm gonna pick up the tab when I get out, and she goes home. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is to call a restaurant from inside their men's restroom and let them know that they're out of toilet paper? And then the guy comes in and says, hey, are you the guy on the phone? And you're like, yes. And you finally recombobulate yourself and waddle out of the restroom just to have the bartender say, here's the tab, man, it's $48.20. And I'm like, this bill can't be right. There's a dessert on here. And he's like, yeah, she ordered that to go. So I pay the bill. I just want to get out of there and go home. But the next week, I'm talking to my boys on campus about what happened. And one of the guys is like, hey, I went out with that girl too, and the same thing happened to me. Then we find out she's done this to like 8 guys on campus. So me and those 8 guys start a support group because only we can talk to each other about the trauma that we experienced on those nights. And no, we didn't confront her or turn her into the police, because if she would do that on a first date, there's no telling what she would do later on. And
Yep.
No. I would fuck that girl up bad.
Yeah.
Listen, you get all 8 guys, then I press charges. Yeah. And that's...
I mean, if it's illegal to put a roofie in a woman's drink, it's illegal to spike anybody's drink, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's messed up.
That's what she did.
I mean,
it might be misdemeanor charges, but you can still put her in more debt than her underwater like lesbian basket weaving degree or whatever the fuck it is she's.
This is like women SOP here, right? Women always set up on a first date the safety call, where they get a call. Oh, I have to take this. Yeah. And then you could tell. Oh, really? And you know that it's a safety call. She's not into it. She wants to leave. Got it. You could do that.
No problem.
You don't have to like slip drugs or whatever in somebody's goddamn drink. That's an ass-beating offense.
Yes,
I'm just saying. And you know what? You should have shit in a bucket, found out where she was, and funneled it into her car. Bastards.
Or you could do what Pop's going to do. You just wait till she's dead and use the auger, drill down.
Not going to say that's not going to happen.
Reminds me of this. Here, hang on. I mentioned it earlier.
Oh, here we go.
Been a long time since you were in church, huh, Pop?
oh, shit.
There's no way that had to have been a practical joke, because it sounded like it's coming from the sound system.
I think it was. Yeah, it had to have been a practical joke. And the guy had the phone at the ready. So maybe it was a couple of altar boys got in on it. Either way.
Listen, it would be the first time that those bastards pull some shit like that.
Nope, it's not. Jay the Dyslexer says, thank you for your information, levity, entertainment, and thoughts on life. Going through my mirage and separation, final divorce, in one form or another, I experienced similar scenarios from the stories that you read on air. I can relate. Speaking of which, more stories, dudes. We want to know what happened to you.
Yeah.
Got bad relationships, pranks, even just funny shit that
revenge.
You want to share.
Oh, I love revenge.
Oh, Pop loves the revenge.
Or, listen, a lot of you guys, you get broken up with or divorced. 10, 15 years later.
The slingbacks.
And they either try to sling you back, or they just literally turn into the Miss Piggy Buffalo show.
A lot of them implode.
Yeah. Too. And send us those stories, because those are refreshing.
Yep. They're very refreshing. He says, I can relate. Separated 4 years ago. Papers signed 2.5 years ago. I have 50-50 custody, and I kept the house.
All right.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal if you can get it.
You got out of there with your ass. I like that.
Yeah. There was nothing in the house that I cared about. I was happy that she took all the future hoarder starter kit stuff as well as everything else. Until the day she moved all out. I decided not to be there.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. Friends of mine were there to help her move. They got her out and took the key. I changed locks later. Okay, so you had supervision.
All right.
I wish her well. Happy trails, adios, goodbye. My son was going to stay with her for the first week of 50-50. I was on my own the first night. Driving home from work, semi-relieved, I pick up 6 friends. Dinner. What's for dinner? I knew there was nothing in the fridge in the house. You know what? I got a frozen pizza in the garage refrigerator. Nope. Walked in the front door and looked around, happy to see all the things I never cared about gone. Walking into the garage, opened the fridge, gone. She took the old cheap frozen pizza. She even took the ice cube trays out of the freezer. I stood there and laughed for what seemed like 10 minutes. I took one of my 6 friends out back, sat down, enjoyed the setting sun, ordered delivery, and began to plot out the long game.
All right.
These past 4 years, I had ups and downs. I've dealt with most of the wounds, laughed when I could, cried when I needed to. I continue to be the best dad I know how to be. I work out every day, grew my client list, played this game on the internet. You might have heard about it. You send in a picture of yourself, compose an essay, and see if your essay and photo match with other people's essays and photos. I have not heard about this.
No, I have not heard about that either.
That game is not fun if you take it seriously. I just decided to have fun with no expectations. I eventually met someone and things are going well. You're playing a game. I think you're playing the Tinder game. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Don't worry, not going to get married again.
Don't do that, bro.
I hope you laughed at this. You cannot live in the rearview mirror. We were just talking about living in the past. Be a good parent, work on yourself, and laugh a lot, even when it hurts the most. Being alive to see where you go and what you can do is much better than anything.
Well, it's better than end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all death is end.
End. You go back to the lobby.
You go back to the lobby.
If you do well, they let you in. You don't, they send you back, and you respawn at the,
you're going to have to negotiate for your next meat suit.
Mm-hmm.
Kick the tires.
Lose all your memories from this life. That's got to be the biggest torture.
No, I have a theory about that, but I'm not going to.
I've always thought that that's why, really young children will have, night terrors when they're really young.
Yeah.
It's because they can't communicate with you, and they're watching their memories slip away. Kind of a fucked up idea.
I watch a lot of that stuff on YouTube, and the whole reincarnation thing. There's just so many. There's thousands upon thousands of documented stories of these little kids knowing things about other lives that they just should know.
Yeah, some people remember, most don't.
Yeah.
You ever see that movie Chances Are? Back in the 80s. Yeah, I remember that one. So he's so fucking anxious to get back that he doesn't take the shot, so he starts having, Robert Downey Jr. Super young. He was 21 or 22 at the time.
Mm-hmm. Listen, when I was younger, I used to have these recurring nightmares. Oh, yeah? And all of them I died.
Oh.
I would see myself, and one of them I would get hung. So I think I was like an outlaw back in the day, and I got extreme chiropractic done.
Extreme chiropractic.
Hey.
Hey, it is what it is.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.